Hello and welcome to episode 7 of the Situational Awareness Matters radio show. I'm your host, Rich Gasaway. The purpose of this show is to improve situational awareness and decision-making for individuals and teams who work in high-risk, high-consequence environments. Our mission is simple: to help you to see the bad things coming in time to prevent bad outcomes. I'm broadcasting to you today from my Situational Awareness Matters Get in the Loop tour stop in Erwin, Tennessee, where I'm training 950 employees of the nuclear fuel services on situational awareness and the challenges faced by industrial workers. Nuclear fuel services processes the uranium that powers the nuclear navy. I'm honored they have engaged me in a multi-year contract to help improve the safety of their employees. Thank you, Nuclear Fuel Services, for this opportunity. In this episode of Situational Awareness Matters, we'll talk about the line-of-duty death of Asheville Fire Captain Jeff Bowen. In the near-miss lessons learned, we'll talk about an incident where flawed situational awareness led a firefighter to being caught in a ceiling collapse. And in the questions and answers segment, we'll talk about a program attendee's question on fatigue. Healing and growing from tragedy. I had the opportunity to present alongside Asheville Fire Chief Scott Burnett at the North Carolina Society of Fire Rescue Instructors Conference. This opportunity came as a result of another wonderful opportunity that Chief Burnett extended to me to conduct a facilitated debriefing following a line-of-duty death of Captain Jeff Bowen. During the debriefing process, I was able to learn firsthand of the challenges and the opportunity the department faced during this horrific event on July 28, 2011. Chief Burnett's presentation, which preceded mine, was titled 14 Minutes and 13 Seconds. It was so named because that's the time it took rescue crews to locate and remove Captain Bowen from the Mayday call. Chief Burnett told the audience those brief minutes passed like hours. The visit and presentation also gave me the opportunity to visit again with firefighter Jay Betancourt. Jay is the firefighter who was with Captain Bowen when he went down on the 5th floor of the medical office building at 445 Biltmore Avenue. Jay's acts of heroism to rescue his brother left me awestruck. Jay is a humble man. I'm confident that he would say that he is not a hero. Rather, I think that he would say or characterize himself as a firefighter who was just doing his job. During my portion of the presentation, I focused on how we conducted the facilitated debriefing following the event. I brought Jay Betancourt to the front of the room, and standing beside firefighter Betancourt, I told the audience this: someday, my grandkids will ask me if I am a hero. And I will tell them, no, Grandpa is not a hero, but I have stood among them. And then I looked at Jay and gave him a hug. He received the most well-deserved, most awesome standing ovation that I have ever seen delivered. Likewise, when Chief Burnett finished speaking, he also received a standing ovation from the audience. Chief Burnett was very forthcoming with his assessment of the incident and the lessons that they had learned. He's such a humble leader, one that all of us should emulate. I do not envy the position that he was in, giving such a tough presentation in front of a large audience. He remained very poised and professional. At one point, Chief Burnett spoke of a dream that he had had in November when Captain Bowen appeared before him and walked the chief through the fire incident step by step and told him everything that happened. It was by far the most riveting story I had ever heard. Ever. There came no doubt in my mind of the chief's love and compassion for his firefighters. His commitment to learn every lesson possible from this tragedy is very apparent. A short time after that presentation, I had the opportunity to visit my friends in Asheville again. This was my first visit since the facilitated debriefing. The purpose of this visit was to be briefed on the post-incident analysis team's activities. It was very impressive, the amount of work that has been done on the recommendations that were contained in my report. All too often, I encounter fire departments who've experienced the line of duty death and as a result have changed nothing. Some are in denial. Some say that if they address the issues, that they'll be dishonoring the fallen. This often leaves the firefighters of those departments angry and disappointed and bitter because they know things went wrong and there are lessons to learn, and it's not dishonoring the fallen, but it would honor the fallen to learn and share those lessons. We owe it to every fallen firefighter to learn every possible lesson about how the tragedy unfolded and how to prevent it from happening again. Clearly, the Asheville Fire Department is an organization that has taken the lessons of the tragedy of July 28, 2011 and the death of Captain Bowen and made real changes to improve the safety of their operations. These actions will become a blueprint for other fire departments to follow, I'm sure of that. To say I'm impressed is an absolute understatement. This is a first-rate organization, and it's well on its way to healing and growing from tragedy. Thank you, Asheville Fire Department, for setting such a great example for the fire service nationwide. And now it's time for a situational awareness near-miss lessons learned. This lesson comes to us from the Firefighter Near-Miss Reporting System, where lessons learned become lessons applied. And here's what the reporter had to say. We responded to assist another fire department at a structure fire that was caused by a lightning strike. The fire was in the attic of a 2-story home of approximately 3,000 square feet. The first new engine pulled 2 inch and 3/4 lines and a 2.5 line with a cellar nozzle. My crew went upstairs to assist with the fire attack. There was a very light haze of smoke on the second floor. After opening a hole in the ceiling, we put the 2.5 inch line with the cellar nozzle into the attic. We then noticed the room next to us had a glow coming from under the door. As the attack team made entry into that room, the entire ceiling collapsed on top of all of us and visibility went to 0. One firefighter had his face piece knocked off and we were all disoriented. Everyone made it out without injury. This is indeed a close call. Here's the lessons learned as the reporter stated them. Beware of what the conditions are around you. When using a cellar nozzle in an attic, anticipate a collapse. This near miss serves as an example of flawed Level 3 situational awareness, where the crew had a flawed ability to predict, project, or forecast future outcomes based on the current information. This often happens when personnel are operating in the moment with a fixation on a task and little thought being given to the cause and effect. When you're applying water, you're adding 8.35 pounds of weight into a structure for every gallon of water that you apply. If you flow a 100-gallon-a-minute nozzle, and in this case they were using a 2.5 inch line, but if you're flowing just a 100 GPM nozzle for 2 minutes, that's 1,670 pounds of water being loaded into that ceiling. As you apply water, think, how much weight am I loading into the structure? Where is it going? Can the structure support this weight? What are the possible outcomes if it cannot? Can we anticipate those outcomes before they happen? Can we take action to prevent a bad outcome? Level 3 situational awareness is developed by using your past experience, past training, and your imagination to envision future events. It's the foundation of the mission for SA Matters, to help you see the bad things coming and time to avoid the bad outcomes. You can visit the Firefighter Near-Miss Reporting System at firefighternearmiss.com. If you've experienced or witnessed a near miss and would like to be interviewed on this show, visit my companion site, closecallsurvivor.com, and click on the Contact Us link. Thank you in advance for sharing your lessons learned so others may live. Peeling back the layers. Situational awareness is consistently identified as one of the leading contributing factors in firefighter near-miss events. Yet many firefighters who know with confidence they've lost their situational awareness don't understand how or why their situational awareness was impacted. There are two essential reasons for this. First, many responders don't understand what situational awareness is, nor do they understand how to develop or maintain it. Second, and this can be a shocker for some, flawed situational awareness is never the root cause of a near miss, or a casualty event of any kind for that matter. Flawed situational awareness is a symptom. Let's address the first issue, understanding what situational awareness is. Situational awareness is your ability to capture and understand information about what's happening around you in the context of place and how time is passing. Then, being able to take that information and make accurate predictions about the future events before they occur. The acronym I've created may be helpful for you to remember this. It's GAS, GAS. G, gather information. A, assess the information. S, speculate about future events. When you read a near-miss or casualty report that identifies flawed situational awareness as a contributing factor, the first question that you should ask is, what flawed the situational awareness? This is where the understanding of situational awareness becomes more complex. I've identified and researched over 100 barriers to situational awareness. A barrier is anything that causes the loss of situational awareness, or anything that keeps situational awareness from being restored once it is lost. Asking probing questions can help you to peel back the layers and get to the root cause. For example, asking, what mission were the responders trying to accomplish at the time the near miss or casualty event occurred? This starts the process of peeling back the layers to allow you to understand how, perhaps, a deep focus on a critical mission can cause a narrowing of attention to a limited number of clues and cues, information that forms situational awareness. I term this situational awareness barrier mission myopia. As you understand how mission myopia occurs and the consequences of it, you begin peeling back the layers to see how the same thing might happen to you. This is when real learning occurs. Peeling back the layers takes an understanding of near misses and casualty events to a whole new level. In my book, Situational Awareness for Emergency Response, published by Penwell in 2013, on page 8 I offer the following questions to help you peel back the layers. What were the responders trying to accomplish at the time things went wrong? What was the overall mission of the incident? And what role were the responders playing in advancing the mission when things went wrong? Why did it make sense for the responders to be doing what they were doing at the moment things went wrong? What task or objective were the responders focused on that kept them from seeing the bad things on the horizon? Were there any distractions or interruptions that drew the responders' attention away from their task? Did the responders understand the overall incident goals and objectives, their role in the mission, and how other individuals or teams were going to influence the outcome? Keep these questions in mind and ask them when you have a near-miss event, and you too can peel back the layers and begin a deeper understanding of what causes a near-miss or casualty event. And now it's time for an SA Matters community question. This question comes to us from an attendee of the 50 Ways to Kill a First Responder program class that was held in Indiana. What is the impact of fatigue on first responder situational awareness? Fatigue diminishes situational awareness significantly. The impact of fatigue on all aspects of mental performance is well documented in research. I know this answer is not going to be popular with responders who work 24-hour shifts, or especially 48-hour shifts. But the science backs the assertion that fatigued brains don't function as well as a rested brain. Severe fatigue can have the same impact as alcohol, impairing coherent thought, gross motor skills, and fine motor skills. Fatigue can impact reasoning, memory, recall, and impact sight and hearing. This is a great question, and we'll dedicate an upcoming episode to the topic of worker fatigue, so look for that on the horizon. If you're interested in attending a live event, you can check out the Situational Awareness Matters tour stop schedule at samatters.com. Click on the Program and Keynotes tab below the header, then click on the Events Schedule tab. If I'm in your area, I hope you'll consider attending a live event. If you're not able to attend a live event, consider signing up for the SA Matters Online Academy. The Academy contains videos and articles that cover the same content as the 3-day live tour event, delivered in 14 modules that you can go through at your own pace from your own computer. The Academy Plus version includes 4 books that are referenced throughout the Academy. The Plus version is a great bargain because the tuition simply covers the costs of the books, making the Academy free. Just click on the link below the header on the SA Matters homepage titled Online Academy. Well, that's it. Episode 7 is complete. Thank you for sharing some of your valuable time with me today. I sincerely appreciate your support of my mission. If you like the show, please go to iTunes and search for SA Matters Radio and subscribe to the podcast and leave your feedback and a 5-star review. This will help others find the show. You can also sign up for the free SA Matters monthly newsletter by visiting samatters.com and clicking on the red box on the right side of the homepage. Be safe out there, and may the peace of the Lord and strong situational awareness be with you always.
You've been listening to the Situational Awareness Matters radio show with Dr. Richard B. Gasaway. If you are interested in learning more about situational awareness, human factors, and decision-making under stress, visit samatters.com. If you are interested in booking Dr. Gasaway for an upcoming event, visit his personal website at richgasaway.com.